Now we're going to get to the schools. We have a program that's called Build the Best. And so this gets to the create portion of kind of the how do we end up getting the right employees. And so here's our program. So we've identified within a 45-mile radius of our factory every single high school. Not only have we identified every single high school, but we have a CRM. Who's the superintendent? Who's the principal? Who's the trade teacher? Right? What's the program entail? And so now that we have all that data, we're starting to market to them. Because what do we want at the end of the day as a call to action? Hey, I got this really good woodworking kid that should work for you this summer. You want that call to happen back to your HR department. And so what is the trade, value for value, in terms of the high schools? All right, here's what we're doing. So we got our database, we're constantly communicating with them, but specifically what we're doing is we will come in, I'm not going to do this in the right order probably, we will come in and we will do presentations. What wood shop worker, what teacher in general wouldn't want somebody else in taking one of the day of their curriculum and talking about what's going on in the real world? We provide that. And oh, by the way, it's my plant manager that goes in, because if you start to look at the demographics and think about your target market, do they want to hear from this guy wearing, no. They want to hear from someone that looks like them, sounds like them, has had some similar life experiences. Again, this is a marketing problem at the end of the day. So Andrew, my plant manager, who's gone through this whole program and has gotten to the point that he's a plant manager and six-figure salary, as with only a high school education, he's the one that's talking to them. He's describing the life that you can have and how manufacturing in the woodworking industry can be sexy again. In addition to that, field trips. I know some school districts don't do that anymore. I get that. I understand. But if they want to come and actually see, our win rate when a client comes through our shop goes from about 40% to about 80%. The exact same thing happens when we get people in our shop from an employment standpoint. So why wouldn't we leverage that and take advantage of some tactics that we already know work? And so we offer that. You want to come in? Bring your kids in. We'll give them a full tour, etc. In addition to that, once they have the tour, senior projects, right? They're doing projects all the time. The school district might not have the equipment. Guess what we volunteer for them to use? Guess where they have to use it? Our shop. That gives us another face point, another touch point. We are creating our own future employees. Because this is not going to get solved by anybody else. Nobody's coming to our rescue. The government's not going to save us. We have to do it on an individual, locale by locale basis. In addition, we give free materials. How many school districts are pining for materials? Every single one. How many of you have excess materials? Every single one. I know that you overorder. I've seen the data. I have the software to show it. So why not give it away for free? Get some leverage out of it. Get the thank you notes, see some of the products. So you can see what that value proposition looks like. And the piece de resistance, the thing that we actually push for every summer, is the competition. There's always senior projects, there's always projects that they're doing at the high school. That's great. We can give them an award and a little certificate at the high school. Here's where we steal the idea from the Marines. Those senior projects, you bring them into Wilkie. You put them on the shop floor and they're on pedestals, they're displayed. And oh, by the way, we invite your parents. See what I'm doing with those that have veto power? See how I'm marketing to those people to get them to say, oh, I didn't know woodworking could be this clean, could be this sexy, could be this, fill in the blank. But now I'm getting them through the door. And if I get them through the door, and I market to the kid who's already passionate about this because he's in the trade, he's already indicating an interest, or she, I just need to convince the parents. So I could do it with a certificate, but I promise you it's a lot more meaningful if they actually walk through my shop. And so there's some things at the end of that we give away. So there's some economic benefits to this program also. Did that answer your question about what we do with the high schools? Perfect. And one that I added yesterday, and I have it in gray in the bottom, with the curriculum that National Woods is starting to do, I think we're going to end up sponsoring that. That is real cheap. If we can start, we have the database, we know who the high school teachers are, why don't we pay for it? Especially when you start to do the math of what it costs for turnover. Oh my gosh, it's a piece of cake. They're probably not charging enough then. Maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud.